Welcome to episode 31 of Stream Roulette. I'm Steph Broadbridge. I'm here with Daniel Towns, and
Hello.
this week we watched...
What
did we watch?
I am a killer.
I am killer.
I am killer. Whatever.
Let's do
That's
it.
what we did that. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Stream Roulette. Daniel Towns with Steph Broadbridge. How are you, Steph?
I'm good. I'm in Melbourne. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Sydney. We're interstate again. We're doing you are anyway. So what, you had like a week back in Sydney after Perth?
I had 3 days.
Oof, that's painful.
Yeah.
Because that drilled me. Like sleep-wise, like my whole week's been shot. I slept from 11 till 4 yesterday in the day.
Oof.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty tired.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's good you go over there for gigs. Mm-hmm. And any downtime?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to try and make some, it's very boring.
Yeah.
It's such a weird life.
Well, it's easy to just get trapped in like you wake up and you go, I work for me. I'll start at 10.
Yeah.
And then
Totally.
It's like, I work for me. I'll start next week.
Yeah.
I work for me.
Like,
COVID.
What if I just give up? Who cares?
Well, yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, unless you make a thing about it, no one actually ever notices when someone stops comedy.
No, they don't.
They don't. Like, it just becomes a few years later and someone goes, oh, what happened to... And they probably get a random message or two on Messenger, like from a couple of people that had that kind of friend, like close enough to them that could send them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really happy. They found a nice partner, had a kid.
Oh, he's a banker now.
Yeah.
It usually happens about 30, generally.
The age
drop-off.
30.
Yeah. Like it's either straight away or like around, or just forever. Like some people are just around forever, And
Well, I started at 33, so...
Yeah, you started later. And then there's people that don't, like they've been around for so long and then they stop and then they don't do it, but they're still kind of, around and there. Yeah, it's, I don't know. What would you do if you stopped? Like, would you be anywhere near comedy if you stopped it?
Oh, hell no. I have to be all out.
Now that you've seen it? Oh, yeah. Well, now that you've been in it and done it, yeah.
Being half in is like torture.
Yeah, that would be hard.
What about you? What would you do?
Oh, look, I just sink myself in a thing. So I think if I was done with this, I'd be sinking myself into something else completely,
Like poker? Professional poker player?
Blackjack.
Yeah.
Learning how to count cards, teach myself how to
You
count
could do
cards.
it as well.
Didn't we have... I thought that's why you brought it up. Didn't we have that conversation?
Yeah.
I thought you were just, like, nailing me.
No.
So did I tell you? Yeah.
I have a wholesome thing that happened last night.
Oh, what happened last night?
So I did a few gigs in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And the last one finished really late. And there were these two young guys that ran the gig. And they walked me home.
What's young?
Like between 25 and 30.
Yeah, right. And they walked you home.
Yeah.
That is very nice. Mm-hmm. That's very nice.
It was really sweet.
That's good.
I know.
What were their names? Oh, actually, you don't
Doesn't
need
matter.
to. No, actually, that's stupid. I don't even know why I asked that. Yeah, that's really nice.
I know,
Let me
but it was
ask you
just
this,
like
though.
they weren't...
Would you have taken the escort had it been one person?
Absolutely not.
No? Because then you wouldn't have known their intentions, right?
Yeah.
Well, how do you know if that wasn't?
It was just a vibe.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You read the room. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It was just so nice. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just made me feel all warm and like, oh, some male comics are okay.
Yeah, where were you staying? Oh, actually, don't say that either. Fuck, what?
Yeah, I just my credit card number.
Yeah. What's your credit? Oh, speaking of, I just got a new bank card and I had to update all my fucking online because I pay by the card, not by direct debit.
Yeah.
And some just started getting all these emails. Your payment was declined. Your payment was declined. Your payment was... And it's like, oh, what's happened? Oh, yeah, new card. It's like, oh, fuck, here they go. And trying to stop things. Even this.
That's like...
Get in before... Yeah. It's fucking everything.
That's going to be the next 6 months of your life.
Well, this one's in US dollars as well.
What's this one?
Like the podcast hosting thing. Like it's
right.
in US dollars. So, like, I don't know exactly how much... like it's gonna take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, well, it's 15 US, I can guess. And make sure there's at least that much. I mean, that's pretty pathetic if I can't say there's at least 15 US dollars in my bank account. But anyway.
I mean, it's touch and go for me, to be honest.
What's that? Oh, yeah,
it's touch and go for me.
This year's been a ride. This year's been a real roller coaster. Yeah. I thought, but it's kind of funny though, because last year when I was depressed, I was definitely more worried about money. But I didn't need to be. Whereas now, I'm not depressed.
You have less money.
I have less than I did last year, and I'm not
Wow.
really... You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it's...
That's very interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like a while ago, like it was about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, someone said to me in the park, like, how much longer do you reckon you could go like this without work? Like, you know, when everything was shut. And I said, I could go another year, you know, before I start, where I have to do something, you know. And then it was pretty much, a year. Like I was like, oh, wow.
Nailed it.
Yeah, not a good thing, but anyway. So shall we get into it? I am killer.
Let's do it.
What was it?
I am killer.
So what? The blurbo.
Sorry.
No, you're all right.
So the blurb is, I Am Killer follows death row inmates who tell the story of how they ended up there.
Yeah. And what was your first impression?
I loved it.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah, that was my first impression.
Wow, my first impression, I've got to say, was this is fucking boring.
Really?
I just felt, well, it wasn't clear on Netflix that it was, and this is because we wildcarded this one.
Yeah.
So it's the description on Netflix doesn't say death row.
No.
Like, I just thought it was a prison show about they're interviewing people who killed. And then it was halfway through the first episode where they revealed, and then I looked it up on IMDb and it's like, all right, this is about people on death row and how they got there. And then it got interesting. Like, then it was kind of... Because at first I thought Netflix had just, like, paid a bunch of no-name fucking killers for interviews and, you know, like, trying to cash in on the true crime thing. And it's like, well, what are you doing here? Are you glorifying crime for ratings? And, like, these people are in there just saying whatever the hell they want because they never get out of jail anyway. And you know what I mean? Like, it's... How much weight?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I got really into it.
How far did you go then?
4 episodes so far, and they're pretty long.
Yeah, they are pretty long. I did 3. I did the first 3, but I fell asleep in the third one. But yeah, like, I mean, but to my credit though, I did finish Hung.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, right.
I finished it. What about you?
I didn't finish it. No. But I
got to say, it was a decent...
I'm going to.
It was a good journey. Like, it was. Even the ending wasn't, like, it didn't leave me with anything. Like, it didn't make me go, oh, that was a shit ending, or the way they wrapped it up was... Like, it was still an ending, but it wasn't...
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, okay. Like, it could come back, it might not. Obviously, it didn't come back. Like the show, because it's so old. That we've since found out. But yeah, like, I didn't mind it. I don't know. Like, it's only got a rating of 7 on IMDb, 7.2. And if I saw that, I probably wouldn't watch it.
No, I would never have watched that show had we not
enjoyed
just
that
sort of...
more than, say, The Mindy Project.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
And that wasn't made for me. I know The Mindy Project wasn't made for me, but neither was this show. I since found that out too. And, yeah. Yeah, I thought, but that's got a much higher rating on IMDb. So it just goes to show you how, and also, you know how we said on the I said on the Hung episode, I just want to keep watching it. Like you get to the end and you remember I watched 8? I said I watched 8 last night.
Yeah.
I figured out what it is. Like,
What?
It ends like The Wire ends. It ends like David Simon TV show ends. And I looked into it further. The woman, the DOP, she was the director. So she was the DOP on The Wire, the director of photography on The Wire, but she was the director on this. She did Stranger Things as well. But
right.
But that's sci-fi or whatever. So the style of this being real is closer to... But every episode of The Wire ends on a cliffhanger. It's not a major moment like a Breaking Bad, like a big explosion, but it's something where it's a character thing where you're like, oh, fuck, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like every single episode of it ended like that. And that's how every single episode of The Wire ends, which I found fascinating. Like once I noticed
And Stranger Things.
Yeah, and Stranger Things. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Or maybe that's just how good TV should end.
Unless it's a true crime, and then that would be weird.
Because I mean, she didn't write The Wire.
No.
But,
true.
But she would have learned a lot there with how it was made and how she shot it.
Yeah.
So I wonder what she took from there to, just having those things end the way they did every episode. She's like, oh fuck, yeah. Anyway,
that's clever.
Back to I Am Killer.
No, that's interesting.
But yeah, check out Hung, everyone. Check it out.
Definitely. Yeah, we loved it. Okay, so tell me this. Did you get into it once you realised what it was?
Oh yeah, definitely. I found it very interesting, and I thought the first episode was fascinating about the guy that wanted to be moved to death row for better living conditions.
Yeah.
And I
thought he was a... Oh, you go.
Oh, no. Well, just the way his whole story unravelled. Because when you first see him, you're like, oh, look at this deadbeat and the way he's talking and all that kind of stuff. But then you find he had a record when he was a juvenile, but he went in before he was 18, like 2 weeks before his 18th or something, into an adult jail. And even one of the correctional officers was saying in an interview, you see someone this age and if you put them in juvie, they're thinking rehabilitation. If you put them in jail, it's punishment. Where would his life have gone? Especially when you find out about he just never had anyone.
His upbringing, I know.
You find out everything about him, and then his cousin reaches out to him, and he's just kind of it's actually kind of sad. It's just someone.
Oh, so sad.
It really and I think I mean, no one would probably watch a show like that if they made it about the injustice of the fucking, American system or whatever it is.
It's not, it's not heavy-handed, is it, with that? It doesn't,
no,
that's what I liked about it.
But that's all I was thinking about.
It didn't make you, it wasn't going, oh, you should never have the death penalty. I feel like it was sort of implied, but it wasn't,
I just find it fascinating.
It wasn't thrown in your face.
But it's always English documentary makers. As soon as I heard the voice and it was British, it's like, oh, there it is. Of course it is. But I don't think, or maybe there's something where they don't want, maybe there's something with the prisons where they wouldn't give access for that kind of interview.
Absolutely.
If it's got anything negative about, I'm sure because it's private. It's not a government thing. So would the prisons have to sign, the government wouldn't have to sign off on what's, but maybe there's some corporate fucking bullshit that they couldn't get the rights to, you know what I mean? Because it was in there, with the protests, but it wasn't in there, about, Yeah. I found it fascinating about the organizer, one of the protest organisers who was talking about, she saw her longtime pen pal get put to death. The death penalty. He achieved death. No, but it's wow, if you're an advocate against it, that's the last place you'd see yourself, right? Witnessing one. And same as that lawyer.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think you could witness the execution of a close friend?
Oh, I think I would go if they really wanted me to.
Yeah.
But it'd be fucking... I don't think I'd recover from it.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. There's nothing really funny about that question, is there?
No, it's
All right,
brutal.
could you go to the execution of someone that you can't stand?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no, you couldn't.
I'd get nothing out of that.
I thought there was a chance for a bit of light there.
Well, I
yeah,
don't like when they kill them because I
I'll
want them to have to live with it.
Yeah, I'd rather that too. But then do they know what they're living with is the whole other, like one of the guards made an interesting comment about how, like, for some people, they just become hardened in there. Like, they find their environment. And, for some people, the punishment works and they straighten up. But the rest of them that were on that path and they're going down it, they just become bigger killers and bigger, like they found their home. And that guy wanted to die in this one purely like his cousin was talking about getting him out of, like, starting an appeals process to get him off death row.
And he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to. He'd rather die than spend another 40 years in prison because he doesn't want to be the old, senile man that's getting bashed. Like, he used to do the bashing. And now he gets bashed. Did you see when the camera came really close to his head? And you could see he'd lost an ear. Like, he had like a knife scar across the top of that ear, like his right ear, had been like reconnected, or part of it had. Like, you could see the scar, and like it just looked all mushed up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But you see how many times
I noticed
he did. Oh, yeah, go.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I noticed a lot of them were in Texas.
Yeah, they were, weren't they? But that's where the death penalty is a big thing too, right?
It was just interesting that a lot of them were in Texas. And I also really liked how it opened with the monologue from the killer telling their story. And then they basically rebutted it with all of the evidence and then brought it back to the killer, who was like, oh, yeah, I did lie about that. Or, like, it was so creepy.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
Because by the end of it, you're like, at the beginning, you're like, oh, this guy seems okay. And then by the end, you're like, no, they're absolutely a monster. This is insane. Yeah. Like, I was so manipulated by that conversation initially.
I just he didn't blink much when he spoke. The first guy? James? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he was more honest, I think, than the rest of them. He seemed more honest.
Yeah, I found the second guy a real slippery character.
Whoa, he was real bad. I actually think they should have maybe not started with the first guy because he almost subverted the form.
Well, I feel like maybe they did to show that it's not all the same. Or
yeah,
maybe they did because
when you're trying to get into a show.
Yeah. Like if there was only one.
All the other ones were victims in their own brains, right?
Yeah. Whereas you actually felt genuine pity for that guy, didn't you?
You did, and he was trying for you not to. It was almost like everyone got the opposite of what they wanted.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really, that's fascinating because he wanted to come across all tough, and didn't he, the first guy? And you just kind of felt
and he got
really
sympathy. Yeah, and the other ones were like, I'm a victim, and I'm going, I don't think you are.
Yeah, they're just trying to manipulate, aren't they? Yeah.
Very convincing too. They did come across as really nice guys that were just hard done by. Like you did, I felt the empathy big time.
Well, I did, and straight away, even the second guy's appearance, straight up, you're like, okay, this guy seems a lot better put together than the first dude. You know, like judging him, he was well spoken. He wasn't
most
clean
of his
cut,
teeth,
but he was neat.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was behind glass, but he could construct a sentence, and he had the benefit of the doubt just off a visual. You know, like just off that first, Whereas the first guy's like, he did it. It's just that instant
but then that's how it opens. He's just like, I did it.
Yeah, he wanted to be a bad boy, didn't he?
He actually made death row sound pretty good.
Yeah, well, I guess if you live it in those conditions, like in Gen Pop or whatever it's called, like moving up to the...
I love how you use the lingo.
I've seen The Wire 7 times.
Yeah, I think I know. I watched Orange is the New Black. I'm very well versed on jail.
I've seen Oz. Wait till I throw in someone getting air holed. That means stabbed. Shivved, sorry.
Okay.
Or shanked.
Thank you.
No, you use a shiv to shank someone. Oh, anyway. Yeah, it was... I don't know. Like, it just every time I watch those shows, I just think of like those places are there and there's people in them, and then I put myself in that situation mentally.
Oh, you have to.
But then the whole projection shuts down because I just don't know. You can't imagine it. And it's like the guy said it when he went to death row. You can't imagine it because he went from the outside. The second guy, he went from like his conviction was to death row, and he was the driver. He didn't even pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That's what was interesting about his one.
It was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, I don't think he got sentenced under the party law. So if you're there, if you're a party to a crime, you can be charged with the crime. So that's how they got him on the murder charge. But
and he was a conspirator.
Yeah, but that was on a robbery, not a murder.
I don't know. He changed his story the more information that was collected.
That's true. That's true.
I reckon he was the ringleader. I did not believe him at all.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression too, though. But it wasn't proven, no. So then he's the law is like it's reasonable doubt, right? So if we were on that jury, we would have gone with our hunch. So how many jury verdicts go on hunches where we go, okay, like just that feeling, like because the evidence isn't that he did. There was no evidence to say that he did conspire, but we've both got the feeling that he was because of how he was.
Yeah.
So how do you know that doesn't happen with it? You know what I mean? Like that's...
I know.
They almost need robots up there with no emotional...
But, I mean, that's what the law is. That's why you have the people, to feel out the nuance. There has to be nuance.
Yeah, well, hopefully there was some...
That's why you have a jury. Otherwise, you just go by the letter of the law.
Yeah, that's true. 12 peers.
I've also watched a lot of jury shows.
Have you?
Boston Legal, Law and Order.
Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
No, I never... Yeah, no, it was an interesting show. What would your last meal be if you were on death row?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go classic hot chips.
Hot chips? Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't worry that you'd have a really dry mouth? Like, because you'd be so nervous?
For what?
Well, the salt would dry it out even more.
No.
Nah? Really? That's all
I
you'd
reckon
have?
I'd be... Yeah. Yeah. I like hot chips. What about you?
I would have, at the moment, right now, I'd have some of my girlfriend's Mexican. If I, like, when she makes it. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, okay. So she definitely left you because you're on death row.
Okay, she's fair enough.
She's not cooking for you anymore, Daniel.
Okay, so essentially what's available to me is stuff in supermarkets or from shops or restaurants.
I think you can also, like fast food, anything.
Okay. You know what? I'd probably just get fucking Thai. I'd probably just get a pad Thai.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Or it'd be what I feel like at the time. Like, maybe a block of chocolate or a tub of ice cream.
Yeah, I wonder what the leeway is with that.
I'd just go to town on whatever I could get, yeah. Yeah.
Do you reckon you just go order from Uber Eats?
I don't know. Actually, that'd be interesting to know how they did it, because they do get it served on a plate. Why do they make such a big thing about it? I wonder where that became a thing. I mean, I get it, it's your last meal, but why is it such a...
I guess it's one of those things they do to separate what they're doing from what the person did, right?
Do you reckon it has anything to do with if the person shits themselves when they get executed?
Why would that affect whether you had it on a plate or not?
Well, so you're getting a solid instead of, like, if they haven't eaten, or if it's just prison food that they hardly touch, and it's just, like,
Yeah, but what if their last meal's spicy wings?
That's true. Oh, that's actually not bad. Actually, I changed my final meal.
Yeah.
My final meal would be a triple hot Nando's, 6 chilies, with a 2-litre bottle of Metamucil.
Yeah. Just to fuck them.
But who would it screw? It's your cell. They probably make you clean it before you go.
Nah, because when you die, if you do it when you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them deal with it.
That's great.
Have some beetroot and asparagus too, just to really...
Yes.
yeah, it's a. I mean, what's that? There's a John Grisham. I mean, there's lots of stuff about the death penalty, but John Grisham had that. What was that novel? Oh, Time to Kill. That was one of the first law books, like legal novels I read. Law books. That was one of the first legal novels I read. Have you seen that movie?
No.
The Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson?
I haven't.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Yeah?
Oh, it's so good. But like that was like it's essentially a young black girl gets taken and raped by a bunch of rednecks in like fucking, one of the Dukes of Hazzard flags, Confederate flags and all that shit on their redneck cars and all that kind of stuff. And you think it's about their court case. And then on the day of their sentencing, the dad comes around the corner with a shotgun and kills him. And it's about his trial.
Oh, I love that.
It's fucking great. But that was the first one that got me into it. And that's big on, I think the death penalty's in that. Or one of his follow-up novels was about someone on death row. But like the whole...
right.
Yeah, that goes right into the... Because it's not a... Well, how can you be the most advanced country in the world yet still have so many backwards things like that?
An eye for an eye.
No, I know, but like you go somewhere like Singapore and it's like, all right, I get hung for weed, fair enough. There's warning signs everywhere.
Yeah.
You're rolling the dice.
Yeah.
But like then other places, it's like, oh, that. And it's like, all right, you can do this. Greatest country on earth. But, we will kill you.
You might die.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, if you kill someone.
If you kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that stuff. I think, I don't know, just rotting in jail.
I agree.
But then even...
Just let them rot.
You see some of the stuff, though. Like...
They got a Netflix special. Do you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
They're doing fine.
They got credits on IMDb.
Yeah.
They played themselves. They're infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I am fascinated with that whole environment. Prison. But it's not.
It is so fascinating because it's not something we're used to.
But I remember it was, I think, when we'd first gotten together, my girlfriend and I, and there was something on one of the channel. I saw a trailer for something on Channel 7 or an ad online, and it was something had happened there was a rioting at a prison in Sydney or something, and I had a look at it. Like I watched the video, and the video, the cells were better than crew cabins on cruise ships. I sent it to my girlfriend and I said, check this out. And she goes, oh, they got 4 windows. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, there's a PlayStation in there.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, when they're describing death row, I'm like, that sounds really relaxing. Like, you've got a TV, you don't have to get a plane anywhere. Someone cooks for you.
Yeah, they come and get you.
Yeah.
They take you to your appointments.
I'm like, I could do it just for a month. Do you know what I mean? Just for a holiday.
Well, I think that's solitary confinement, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that one's crazy, but...
That one would be, man. I think that'd be worse, because that first guy...
What do you reckon... Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, what do you reckon your time frame is for going crazy if you were stuck in a cell?
Solitary? What have I got with me? Nothing?
Just nothing.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Like
1 hour to go outside a day.
I'd probably run out of steam within a few days.
You reckon? 3 days?
No, within a few days. I don't know.
Yeah?
Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to say I'd be okay because the damage it would do afterwards, like the psychological damage afterwards would be horrible. But, like, I could probably convince myself while I'm in there that it's not that bad. And I can see the end.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm very good at seeing the end of things that I'm not enjoying. Like, it's like, oh, just tough, 6 more days or whatever. You know what I mean?
But you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what time it was.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, very quickly then. Very quickly. It'd be horrible.
I reckon 20 minutes.
But sometimes people do it like they want to go there because it's safer.
Oh, yeah, but, like, that's different.
You know, like it's like, oh, they need to be locked up because someone's trying to kill them, or you know. So that whole, like, it's fascinating when you have a world where crime isn't wrong in their minds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah. It's, I mean, it's corporations without brains, isn't it?
That's it. But you put a bunch of like-minded people together, there's going to be chaos, you know?
Of course. And just like that guy was in all of them. The first guy, he was in the rioting. He was in, you know, they said it, everything you wouldn't, you know, everything you shouldn't do, he did it. You know?
Yeah.
It would be hard though. Fucking, I don't even want to think. You have to make some weird fucking gang affiliation just to survive. Who was it? Where were we when there was someone? I don't know. I was talking to someone and they said they wouldn't. They just made that classic comment: if they went to jail, they would never shower.
Why?
Because of that.
Oh, because of the soap thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that plays on every guy's mind. But I asked someone that has had a holiday.
Yeah.
Someone in the comedy industry that's had a holiday, and they said, they said, oh, it's actually the opposite. Like, if anything, they're so homophobic in there that if anyone tries that, they'll get bashed.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So the person, like, and I think it was an American that was saying it here. And they said, oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that. They're like, in the States, it's just like, oh, yeah, whatever. But yeah, you're right. This country's homophobic. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, right. Fuck. That's so funny.
Yeah. I don't want to see if it's true or not. Like, I don't want to go and find out.
Yeah. But you'd be making yourself a target if you fucking stunk it up, though, you know?
Oh, you'd be making yourself
You don't want to be the stinky guy.
You don't want to be any guy. Unless you're the one they're all scared of.
If you don't shower, you would reek, and then, like, your cellmate would probably stab you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'd think about it.
All right. Do you reckon
if I had to share a cell with someone who wasn't showering for like 2 years, I'd be like, you'd lose it, right? Like.
Okay, so if you were in prison, would you be top bunk or bottom bunk? I'm just trying to make it cutesy and fun. I don't think you get a choice.
I'd prefer bottom.
Really? Mm-hmm. How's that?
I feel like it's less intrusive to the other person.
I feel that too. And I also feel it'd be harder for them to smother you on the bottom.
Why is that?
Well, I feel like at the top, they're right there. They're just like right next to you. Like you could just walk past to go to the toilet and go, yeah, maybe I'll kill them. But if they're down like at knee height or whatever, you're not going to, you know, and they're snoring, it's not going to annoy you as much. You know?
All right.
No, things are in your way.
This is taking a weird turn.
It's a podcast. All right. Well, what would you recommend the show?
Definitely. I am going to continue watching this one for sure.
Yeah, right. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10 then?
I would give it like a... I agree it was a bit slow at the beginning, so maybe like an 8.
Okay. Yeah, look, it definitely got me. I don't think I'll go back, but I'd give it that, and I'd definitely say it's worth watching if you like prisoner type stuff with some lesser known murderers and thugs.
Yeah, the B team.
Yeah, it's the B team. You're not going to see any Gacy's here. This is just your common street crooks.
There's no Carl Barons, but you'll get a Dave Hughes.
All right, stream roulette.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and what's next week's show? What do we got next week? We're doing a fan request. We're doing a listener request.
Yeah, we are going to watch season 6, I believe, of Rick and Morty.
Season 6? I haven't even seen season 1. Have you seen it?
I've seen, the other 5 I have.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're bending the rules a little here, but all right, because I haven't seen any of it, but that's good. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, it comes out on Monday, so.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. All right, then. Damon, we will watch that. Okay. All right. And now we've got to, speaking of death row, we've got another thing to record. So let's wrap this up and we'll catch you guys next time on episode 32 with Morty and Rick.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye.